Hello, welcome back. Last time I finished Nonogram A-side, and we're gonna start the B-side today, and something I want to do, because I know the game doesn't naturally do this for me. I'm gonna switch to Puzzle Music 2. That's what it will sound like. Down in here, B01, what are you? Like, it looks pretty normal. Got a 0 column. Got the thing in my right ear already, even though I'm on the very left side of the grid. The audio in this game is a complete mystery to me. Alright, so anything that ends with not a 1 can be X'd out here. This row is a 0, by the way. Anything that ends with not a 1 here. Do we have diagonal symmetry? That is what it feels like to me. Okay, well I'm gonna follow my normal pattern for now. Alright, so I get a lot of this. Cool, and I know where the 1 is, which tells me all about you. And I'm assuming I can apply the same pattern here because... symmetry. Okay. Good start. A few more things I can do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, and if I'm doing that, I need to... yeah, diagonal symmetry. Right, okay. So... a little bit more of a pain to keep on top of than orthogonal. Just because, like, mirroring that way is a lot less instant for me. That's okay. That goes here, because that 3 can't reach. Okay. 4, 1, 8... 8 has some caps on it. Whoops, other way. That 8 does this and this. 7, huh? 5, 6, 7. And then 2, and then that becomes an exact fit. Oops, not that. This, that, this, that. Okay. 3 is done. 4 is a little more established. And then, what's the orientation of what I just did? This is 4, that's the 3. Okay. It's confusing. Alright, so that 4 can't possibly have anything there. Same for you. It must be there, and it must not be here and here. Okay, this is a 4, this is a 4. Those row columns are done. Alright, and this one is here. This one is here. That's that done and that done. Great. 6, 3, 6, 3. 4 not there, 4 not here. 8 is kept. That 8 is done. You're a 4. You're a 4. That's a 4. And this is the end? What am I looking at? A little diagonal smiley face, so it's like rolling on a treadmill. Right. Okay. BO2, are these all going to be faces? Well, this one's larger. For whatever that's worth. Yeah, this is quite large. Where will I start with this? Which of these has enough in it to do anything? Does this? Oh, yes. Okay. So 5113 is enough. What does 522 look like? Okay, that's 1 at least. So 522 looks like this. What does 2332 look like? Probably nothing. No, it does look like something. Okay. 3, 1, 1, 2, 4, 4, 1. None of those others seem promising. 8, 1. So I know this. That's all I really know there. What about this silly one? That is an exact fit. Okay, cool. Oops. What about this one? Just gonna have to actually look to see how the space fills because eyeballing it is just not going to be sufficient. Okay, yeah, so here, first one was a simple little intro. Here's where the fangs really come out, I feel. Yeah, like, what do you want me to do with this? Okay, so first of all, here's a column that's very productive to fill in. Here's one that I can do almost the same thing in. Okay, so now that that's narrowed, I think I can input some things from here. I can. Yeah, so entire puzzle has narrowed by 2, except for this and this. Which allows me to... how many is 7? It's that many, which does let me do this. Okay, so looking at columns again. No real knowledge here. Well, I know this. Okay, so therefore I know those things. Cool, so that's given me something here where I can deal with that row. Also, this 5 is established. Great. Okay, no, a lot of things are happening. That's the 2. That's the 2. This 8 extends over here. Alright, next thing to look at. This is a 1. I don't currently know what this is. Yeah, I do. It's a 3. So a 1 is in one of these two. Alright, there's only one wiggle room left, so therefore the 3 goes here. Okay. So I know some things about the 7. That. Right, okay. Took me a second to get there. That's fine. I know this is a 1. I know that 2 is by itself. Okay, so 8 gained more constraints. 1 is in one of these 2. Okay. This ends with a 2. 1 space, 1 space, 1, 2 space, 1, 2... Yeah, okay, so I know this. Alright, so I know those things then. Okay, great. A lot just resolved. And right, so for this I know those things. This row, those 2s have to fit in that space, and also I know these. Yeah, this row is actually pretty well established. Still don't know which of the 2 or 4 these 2 are a member of. Over here I know that. Okay, well, now I know it's a 2. Okay. This is a 1, and this column's done. Alright, this isn't so bad. It started a little sparse, but things are filling in just fine. In the column, the 4 has to be there. There's that 1. 7 looks constrained, I can do that. For the 5 I can do this. Okay, looking all the way down here, there's a 2 at the bottom of this. That's a 2, that's a 2... This right here is a 1. I don't know which, but it is a 1. Okay, so at the bottom again, that's a 3, yep, I know. That's a 4, okay, that I can do something with. Since this is a 2, I know the 1 is here. Constraining this 5 a little further. So the 4 can't reach that high. Okay. This is not a 1, and the 3 is already there, so this is part of the 4. But that doesn't tell me anything new in the row. I know this is a 4 in this column, so I know where that 5 is. I know where this 5 is in this column. I know where this one is not, so this is indeed the first one in this column. Okay, great. Column done. Things narrow again, therefore these gain more cells. This 2's already built. That's already a 1. There's one more in this column somewhere. Alright, what else do I need to know? If there's only a 4 left here, yeah, that's still as it is. 4 has to go over here. This is involved in the remaining 2, therefore these are all X'd out in the column. I still don't know if this is a 1 or a 2. Don't know anything here. This is a binary choice. Okay, cool. Oh, I just noticed. I never really looked at it before, but there's a cursor on my columns that moves, and on my rows. Yeah, so I have a little reference over on the left and the top of which thing that I'm in. Huh, yeah, I never consciously processed that, but when my cursor's like way over here in the corner, looking at which row or column I'm in, it is actually highlighted. So that's nice. Appreciated. Okay, right, so what can I learn anywhere? Here in this row, that's a 2, which means that this is that 2 in the column, which doesn't mean anything further yet. This is a 3 in the column. This 3 has to involve that. That's a 2. Okay. Therefore, this is a 1 here in the row. Alright, great. Then what? Then this is filled because of the row, which means you're the 3 at the bottom, which I already would have known if I'd looked at it, but I wasn't looking at that column. Alright, 5 does this. This ends with a 3, so I know all of that. This 4 has to be there now. That's one of the 1s in this row. There is one more, and it's here. Because of the 4 here. Alright. 2 in that row gets a cap, 2 here looks like that, you get an X. This 2 can't involve that, so that's an X, therefore the 1 is here, therefore that's the 3. Alright, now what? I need to resolve something else in this row, that would help me a lot. Aha, you have a cap, you're a 4, that goes there. Okay, that helps with this a lot. Hey, there we go. So now this can't be the 1 anymore, so it is the 2 in the row. So that resolves that. This is the coffee vendor, that's what I'm looking at. The funny little plant that sells brown liquid. So this. Cool, okay. I did it. Alright, BO3. These don't seem that different from the other set. Like, same activity, difficulty's not, like, super different. That one started out sparse, but I've had much worse in the A side. How does this resolve? It does it like that, that's all. That one does it like that, that's all. 183 is exact. 2, 3, 4. I doubt it's going to give me anything, but I'm inputting it. It gave me that. Okay, cool. 4, 7 should have something. Yeah, I guess I've decided it's still easier for me to just do it with the extra marks than to do the arithmetic, or otherwise this is just quick. I don't have to think about it. I can just do it mechanically. Like, I know what I want to check. I do have to count, like, runs of things that I'm inputting, but that's not too hard to do. And I also have to count, like, how many spaces are to the right of here. It's 4. And then subtract that from over here. Again, fairly mechanical. This is a 3. This is a 1. Yeah, anything close to an edge is pretty valuable. This is a 3 up here, and that's capped off, and that's a 1, and that's a 1. And that's the 3. So a column's almost done. That's a 3, that's capped, that's a 1, this is a 2, and this is a 4. Okay, a column is done. Dealing with the 6 in the row here now. Alright, so this ends with a 7. Yep, I already knew what that was about. Alright, I'm going right to left columns now. Oops. this will have to be the 5, therefore that's filled in, and one member of the 2 is here. And the 1 is somewhere down in these 4. This is the 3. And that's all I know about that. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done. One of these 2 is a 1, don't know which. How do these fit in? So that's exact, isn't it? Wait, 2, 3, 2, 3. So this is a 3, but these have no wiggle anywhere with that X placed. Yeah, so at the very start of the puzzle I could have done that, okay? 2, 3, 2, 4... I mean, this is going to be the same, right? I'm going to go ahead and just input it, and if things don't work out, I'll back off, but they did. That was an exact fit, always. That, however, is not. I have no knowledge in this column yet. I think. I do know... nothing here. Some things. I know this is the 3, I think? Because the 3 and a 2 can't... Okay, so the 2 is probably down here on its own. It can't go here, right? Space. 1, 2, 3, space. No, okay. So if this is the 3, then that's the only way things can resolve. Okay. And you are in the same status, right? Yes, because 1, 2, 3, space 1 cannot fit down there. Okay. Alright, that was columns right to left. Very productive. This row is done now. Rows bottom to top. Why am I going in that direction? Because I feel like it. A lot of these can just be automatically inferred. If I know this is the 3, it can't reach that far over. That's as much as I know for sure. No, I know this is the 2. So creating a thing that must be like that. This is a 6. The 1 is in one of these 2. This is a 5, that's a 6. This is a 4, that's a 7. Also this 4 here gets those things. This 5 looks like that. Alright, what else do I know? This is a 2. This is a 5. That's a 1. Okay, so those are all fairly resolved. This is nothing. This is a 6. This is a 3. 4, 5, 7, 2. 6 doesn't reach here, and that needed to happen anyway. That's kept for the column. Alright. Things are resolving. I have this last little funny section here, though. With just 1s? Hang on, so this is a 2. Alright, that helps. Okay, and it's done. I have no idea. Let's look at it zoomed out. Ah, you were one of the shopkeepers, I think. Yeah, so these are all the creatures that I meet in the world. That's what the split is. Like, it's everybody who's not me or a boss or an enemy. All the friends are down here. This is the friend zone. Okay, 16 by 15. Big one. Alright. So not exact fit, but close. That gives me 2. This should give me something. This should give me a lot, actually. Oh, yes, everything, in fact. Great. What does 2, 1, 1, 1, 4 look like? That? Okay. 5, 2, 2? Is that anything? It's one thing. Okay, same process rows. I don't know why it's more comfortable to go columns first. It just is, somehow. Oops, I left a thing there. You go away. Well, this must be the 3. There's no other way this can fit, right? Because this can't be a 1. Yes, so this must be the 3. This is the 3 because it's the only thing that wide in there, and then there are 2 2s, which means I know this. So this could be a 3. Or it's probably the 5, but it could be a 3. I do know, yeah, this splits things in half, so I know that the 4 is in here somewhere, so that's true. The 3 is in here somewhere, which doesn't yet tell me anything. This row's done. This one is that much of done. Okay. Don't yet know who I'm looking at here. Can I infer anything from this? Yes, that's the 4 at the end of that, therefore that's that 4, and that 5. That's the 3 at the end of this, which means you're an X. 3 can't fit here, which means those go over a bit. 2 can fit here, which means I don't know yet. Alright, other things. This is a 6 here. That gets X'd. Looking at things I'm able to know. No, wait, this has to be the 5, right, because it's in the middle. I was misevaluating this row. Okay, so if this has to be the 5, then this has to be true. On the other side, the same is not true because it's farther right than left. So I only know that. Okay? For you... my 4 is over here, which means I know both of those. And this is a 3. And the 3 is here, so I know that. Okay? These things just can't fit any other way. And if I know that's a 4 and this is a 3, I don't know anything because I don't know if that's an X or not. Okay. That has finished a column. That's nice. That's clipped my 8 a little bit and my 9 a good bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes. Has it clipped anything else? Not in this row, not in this row. Not interacted with here, not in this row. Yes, this. Therefore I know where the 3 is. Cool. Which has told me one of these 2s. It has to be the first one. Okay, so those 7s are done. This is a 3. That's a 3 at the end of that. That's a 3 at the end of that. This column is established now, so I know this one too. Alright, getting there. You're the 5, that has to be true, and therefore there's only one place for you. In this row, that establishes my 4. Here's that 2, here isn't that 2, therefore 8 gets that much, okay. 9 I know already. Neat. This is a 3 in the column, by the way. 6 can't go there. This is a 2, by the way. 6 does go here. That's a 7. Has been for a while. 4. 8. 5. 2. Not 2. 4. 3. 2. 2. 2, 2. 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. And one more here. You're a different plant? Who are you? No, that's a dwarf head. Okay, took me a moment. Alright. I do want to see what is in the rightmost column, if anything, so I'm going to press forward into this puzzle, I think. Looks like a pretty quickish one, yeah. Whoops, I misplaced. This does not tell me anything. What about you? No. What about you? Yes. Okay. 9 therefore tells me... That's what I thought. Okay. That's what I thought he says, acting as though he thought something else. 3, 4, 1, this is part of the 4, the 1 is in one of these two, sure. I don't know whether this is a 1 or a 2 in the column. I know that's a 4, I know that's a 3, I don't know anything beyond that, really. 5, I can do stuff with you. 3, you're already done. Great, okay. I'm going in a funny order, don't worry about it. This is a 3. That's part of a 4. That's part of a 2, therefore that's an X. Then there's another 2, which has to be here. Therefore this is a 1, and this is a 2, okay? 4, 1, 8, 1, 3, 4, 1... Is this symmetrical? I check now, and I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I think the answer is yes. Should I switch to symmetry rule set? No, what's going on here? Well, this is the center. That's what's going on. If this is the center, hold on, let me try and resolve... Those are 1s, by the way, and yeah, this is a 2, and this 2 is here. That's an X, and for some reason I knew this because that's a 4, that's the 3. Okay, did I achieve symmetry? This looks like a bat. That's not a friend. Yeah, this is the symmetry rule set. Okay, well I could switch to that real quick then. But see, I don't think it's even relevant anymore because I've already input enough things that I would be in the other phase of the puzzle as it is. I mean, I can do this, at least. And this. Okay. Sure. I'll take them. You gave me some things that I did not already have. Alright, 3, 4, 1. You're done with that. 4, 3, 1, 2s. 5 is that. That's not a bat. That's something else. It looked like a bat for a moment. Now it doesn't. You are... Happy Hiderhead, I guess? Must be Happy Hiderhead. Alright, still Fox column. Do I dare? I do. Let's hope this isn't a mistake. I had to check the time because I have a place I need to be, but looks like I do have time to continue here. 11 means what? That? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. What does 318 look like? Most of it. Okay. I think I did that right, so let's hope I did. Oops. Oh, I am doing rows first. Okay, so I guess I don't always do the same thing. Just wherever my eyes happen to go first that looks useful. Yeah, this has become much more of a mechanical process than anything else. Like, I'm just seeing patterns and acting upon them without, like, particularly having to think about them at all. So that's neat. A 4 cannot fit down here. Therefore, this is an X. And this is an X, and both of these are... let's see. I guess I know that much? Yeah, I do know all of that from the fact that those two were placed. Okay. I can do the same thing here, because it is the same column. This could be a 2 or a 3, this has to be a 2, but that doesn't tell me anything new, don't know, don't know. One of these has to be an X, I don't know which. That's already a 3, the one is here, this is the other 3. Okay. This is the 3, this is a 2, this is one of the ones. That means you're a 4, and you're a 1, and you're a 1, and the 4 doesn't go over here. What else does it mean? All of these things must be true. This has to be. This has to not be. Cool. 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 space, 1 cannot fit, so therefore the 5 is here. 6 gets those. Completing that 2 is completed. 1, 2, 3, okay. And also this. 11 has gained some things. I didn't have to count that, but that's what I ended up doing. It's fine. I know this is an X, because neither of those can reach there. That particular application of that rule is one I do not do very often. But sometimes. No, that's not true. I do that sometimes. So this is at 8, yeah, so here's another application of that rule. Neither of them can reach in here. But yeah, usually this sort of thing is not like in between two numbers. Because I guess I just don't get numbers that are that far apart all that often. You are done. Establishing that this is a 2, and the 3 is here. Did that tell me anything in the row with the 9? Not about the 4. Okay. That's a 2, so this also is. So that's a 1, that's a 2. Okay. 3 can't be here, 4 can't be there. Must be here, can't be here, can't be here. 3 has to be there, so 2 has to be here and here. That's that 1 in the column, leaving only 1 space for you. 7 looks like that. Okay. 6. You gained an X at the top at some point, so I know that now. That's my 11. This has to be the 3, because it can't fit anywhere else. Okay, finishing the column, finishing that row, finishing not all of this row, but some of it. This row can finish. Still doesn't tell me anything more about the 6 yet. Getting there. Yeah, it has gotten to the point where things happen too quickly for me to really talk about them anymore. But hopefully you can follow this. I have a feeling everybody who's watching this at this point probably has more experience with this puzzle type than I do, so I'm sure what I'm doing looks kind of slow to those of you who have been doing these all the time. Sleeping Fox! No, sorry, that's the bear. Yeah, I realized at some point my friend who sleeps, hibernates on flowers, is a bear. Gotta look at the ears and, I don't know, it's a very small bear, or I'm a very large fox. That's not me. There I am, that's how far I have to go back to see myself. Anyway, okay, I did a row of the B-side. I think it's just this is all friends. Ah, okay. So yeah, special friend who does something significant. Are there this many more friends? Probably. Alright, well, next time we're gonna meet more of them.